You go in the cage, cage goes in the water, you go in the water. Sharks in the water, our shark. Farewell and adieu to you fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, ye ladies of Spain. Hello, and welcome to Scribology at the Movies. I'm Steve WARE, and I'm a producer at TrueScribe. We're all about audience engagement and retention rates. We want your message to hook your viewers and stick with them long after they've watched your whiteboard video. So how do we do that? Well, if our title didn't give it away, we use the principles of Scribology, design principles backed by neuroscientific and psychological research. So why are we here on sunny Amity Island? Well, we're here to show that the design principles we use in content creation aren't just abstract. They're time-tested, successful techniques that make a message truly last. So put on your swimsuit and grab a harpoon. It's time to look at the design principles of Jaws. The first principle we focus on is message. Every other element of your project is designed to serve your message, making it engaging and retainable. In Jaws, that message boils down to a single sentence. Infighting and conflicting motivations are the real problems in Amity. Let's watch a scene. Now take a long, close look at this sign here. Those proportions are correct. You'd love to prove that, wouldn't you? Get your name in the National Geographic. Story is our human coding language, a great way to increase retention of a message and drive interest in the information as it's being presented. Jaws' story supports its message with a thrilling adventure. Brody, Hooper, and Quint must work together to save a small town from a vicious great white shark. So let's spend some time on those. We're going to be shifting away from the pop Spielberg players to take a look at an actual scene. Let's watch.
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this .
Okay, let's pause it there. This is a great example of the principle of motion. The human eye is drawn to motion by the lizard brain, an ancient evolutionary instinct to track movement and move the eyes or the head. Brody's arm provides that motion, until Spielberg hits us with a much bigger motion, the shark. It absolutely draws our engagement, and not just because it's moving, it's huge and lethal. It's also surprising. The principle of surprise tells us that the brain releases dopamine upon experiencing a surprise, which causes us to become and remain curious. This shock of a scene makes us, to say the least, curious about what's to come next. Let's continue.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Okay, more principles in play. First of all, notice the framing when Brody is at the back of the boat. We're tight on his face, which gives us an intimate understanding of his emotional state and aligns us with him as the most relatable and important part of the frame. And then the shark appears directly behind him, and therefore is tightly framed as well. Scary stuff. We don't want to be intimately acquainted with that. And then, for the emotional reaction shot, we're right in Brody's face. Framing reshapes our insight into images and our alignment with the important parts of the story. We also hear great use of the principle of voice in this moment. Quint is gruff and just a little impressed. Hooper is in awe. Brody is disturbed. All of them deliver their lines in perfect sync with the scene. Voice is all about selecting the right narrator to mesh with your message, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. And then there's something really interesting. I'll model it on the pop Spielberg players, though you can see it in the clip. An accent color. Martin, there are all kinds of sharks in these waters, you know? Hammerheads, white tips, blues, makos, and the chance that these bozos got the exact shark Oh, now there's no other sharks like this in these waters. It's 100 to 1, Martin. 100 to 1. Did you notice the accent color in this scene? It's absolutely gray. From Quint's hat to Brody's shirt, Hooper's sweatshirt, and not to be outdone, the skin of the beast itself. Anything gray, Spielberg says, matters most and deserves your attention. Of course, these are just some of the principles at play in Jaws. There are always more to find. Long before we called it Scribology, great creators were using design principles like motion, surprise, and framing to great effect. Thanks for watching, and stay out of the water.